Hello, my friends, and welcome to this episode of Weight Loss Winformation. And I am not at home, as you can tell. I am in California where my friend Adella,
Adella.
Adelita.
Adelita, I like that better.
That's my pet name.
Is it?
It's for you.
Okay, thank
Nobody
you.
can call you that.
Adelita.
And your family.
Okay.
Adelita. She lives here in California, and I didn't realize how close she was. I came out here for a conference with my husband, and I've been working, and she said, "You're going to be in Carlsbad? I'm an hour up the road." So I said, let's do a podcast.
Let's do it.
So here she is, and you have this, not my house background. It's a little timeshare, but
You do look Dateline ready, though.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Yeah,
kind of.
good.
It's an inside joke. If you're her good friends, you know what it means. And today I found out. So
Yes.
we're fairly Dateline ready.
Yes, you are.
All right, girl.
Let's do
Hi.
it. Hi. That was nice. So nice to hang out with you.
Oh, are you kidding? We always have such fun.
Yes, we do.
And you guys are going to learn something here about our relationship, which has spanned how many years?
2003.
2003, 22 years.
Yes. It was 6 months after my surgery.
That is insane.
Yes.
So you had your surgery 23 years ago. Today. Happy surgery.
Yay.
Remarkable, amazing you.
Thank you.
So we're going to learn all about your process, all about your journey, and what I really want to focus on, because you are so honest and genuine, which is one of the things I love about you. All day I've been saying, what do I keep saying? You're so much. You are too much.
Too much.
And a lot of people will be offended by that.
Yeah.
So I always add, but in a good way.
Yeah. You don't even have to add that.
Yes.
It's not like it's not a secret that I'm too much. Trust me.
The moment I met you, I knew you were too much.
Yes.
In a good way.
Do you remember how when you met me? You were coming down the escalator.
Escalator.
I was going up the escalator with a Corona in my hand.
And we were in Portland.
yes, we were.
We were coming up the escalator?
You were going down. I was going up.
Oh, I thought you were at the bottom waiting
No,
for me.
no. You were
She
coming
was my ride.
Yes,
We were at a WSFA conference?
Yes,
No. Or
no.
just a Laura Van Tile.
of Laura Van Tile
Conference
conference.
kind
Yes,
of
that was
thing.
our first one.
And Adele was assigned to pick me up. And I'm not kidding you. It was like, because you remind me of one of my sisters who I absolutely treasure. And I was like, okay.
Come on, Doc, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it was just instant connection
It was.
and instant honesty.
Honest to the bit.
So, I want us to talk today about your journey and specifically about the stages that is very common, that are very common for
Yes.
people to go through.
Absolutely.
Not everybody goes through these stages, but because I've known you for so long, I've seen you go through these stages.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of people go through these stages. And what I'm guessing, and you'll have to clarify for yourself, not for anybody else, but as you're going through these stages, that other people are looking from the outside going, alrighty then,
Yes,
you're not aware.
right. That's
Okay.
correct.
So we're going to talk about the bariatric journey, the long haul, some of the phases that people might go through. Not everybody does, for sure. But I've seen a lot of people do what I've seen you do and mature into this amazing, mature woman who has looked at the journey, taken what you want to keep, thrown out what didn't serve you
It didn't
well,
work. Yes.
and really come to love yourself.
I do. And, I have to give a lot of that credit to you because when I first met you, you're saying you're going to have this journey and you're going to do this. And you go, and this is what you shouldn't do. And I did
I
it.
say that?
Yes. You said,
How about that?
careful with the addiction transference because I was drinking at the time. I'm like, I got it. Careful with the attraction of other men. Nah, I got it. And everything you told me not to do, I was your poster child for what not to do.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I made it through.
Absolutely. And that, I want to say, is why I want you to share this journey, because some people don't, right? And in my case, I had the alcohol and the pain medication and the attraction
Right.
and the workaholism and the anorexia and the, go through all these things. And I feel so grateful that I, like you, have had the courage to do the deep dive
The deep
into
dive.
self.
Yes.
and say, this is not who I want to be.
It wasn't. It was
Right.
it was always no, okay, where's the next hole that I'm going to dive into?
Right.
If it's not alcohol, is it me going out cheating on my husband, which was not good because it wasn't good. And then not good.
Typically isn't.
No, not good. Was it me still wanting to I stayed in the gym. I was in the gym 8 hours a day. Those what I call acceptable addictions.
Yeah.
But there still has to be a
Right.
thing, and that wasn't good. And then I went to shopping and all those things.
So let's start way back.
Okay.
Tell me about your weight as a kid.
I've always been a big girl. They always call me Adelota, which means it's not Adelita, it's Adelota. So Adelota, I was
Like,
always
who was calling you that?
with Adelota, because I was getting bigger.
This is family.
Yes, family. Yes. So I was always the bigger child.
What about at school?
At school, school was tough. I never had a date. Didn't date in high school. Didn't go to prom.
That's hard.
It was because all my girlfriends did.
Okay, so tell me what it was like being that girl.
Being that girl, I always felt less than.
Okay.
I felt that I didn't deserve to be thin. I didn't deserve to date, the football player. I didn't deserve to play. I didn't deserve to be there, and so it was tough. It was tough to go through that.
And I love your honesty about that because I think whether or not people want to acknowledge that,
Right.
whether it's because of weight or whatever it is that makes you different from, we translate that to less than.
Correct. Now, there was a gentleman in high school. He's always been my friend to this day. He's still my friend. I asked another boy, 7th grade, I asked a boy to dance, and he said no. And that was devastating to me, just devastating. I thought for sure. So I didn't realize that my friend, football captain, football everything, he was very attractive. Everybody had a crush on him. He noticed it. He walked across the room.
Get out of here.
No,
It's like
I know.
a movie.
It is. He walked across the room, and to this day, he doesn't remember. I had to remind him. And he came to me, and he says to me like this. He goes, Adella, he goes,
my gosh.
you will always have a dance with me.
Oh my God. Whoever he is,
He's out there.
Out.
He knows who he is.
God
and
bless
my husband
you.
knows who he is.
Ah, that's awesome. Moving us closer.
Yes, fine. So what that taught me at that time is that it didn't matter what I looked like, that was the inside, but not everybody got to dig in that good.
Right.
And that was junior high, we went to high school together, and every time he'd see me, he'd always make an effort to say hello.
What an amazing human.
He is. He could be an ass to some people, but he was never an ass to me. So
Good.
Yes, that was good. Yes.
Because plenty of other people I'm sure were.
Yes, they were. So it was tough.
So you told me one time, and anything I ask you, you feel free to say, sorry, not airing that.
I air anything. I'm good.
You told me about the convertible.
Yes.
Tell the convertible story.
So in Upland, back in the day, I drove a 280Z.
And how old were you?
I was
were you still high school?
16.
Okay,
16. Yes. And we drove around a Mervyn's parking lot.
Oh, right.
Mervyn's.
This is the place to be.
Yes. We would go out and then go through the parking lot and go down and up and around. And that's what everybody did. And everybody with their fancy cars. I didn't think I had a fancy car. Well, it was. It was a fancy car. And so I had...
Do you know what I drove?
Where did you?
A Rambler.
Oh,
and
my God.
we called it the Beast. Because by the time we had tortured that car, we couldn't open the front door. We had to climb in the window.
That's
Just
amazing.
saying.
Just
the 280Z and the Rambler.
And I paid for it myself. My mom gave me, but I had to pay for it. So I was driving, and it was just me, and they were going down a double-lane highway, and to go back through the loop again, right? And he was on one side, and I was on, and he was a cowboy-looking kind of guy in a big old jacked up truck where my car's like here and he's up here, and he could see directly down into my car. And he was like, hey, you want to pull over and talk? Because that's what they did. Hey, you want to pull over and talk? And I'm like, oh, yes, please talk to me, right? And then he goes, gun it, she's a fat chick. And he went like this, and he went and took off, and he never went around again.
Oh my God, that story, that reality, that truth of your life.
That's true.
I mean, it hurts me. I can't imagine what that did to your 16-year-old heart.
It just reiterated that I wasn't worthy of a boyfriend. I wasn't worthy of dating. Therefore I married the first guy I dated.
And how old were you when you married this boy?
19.
Okay, and so how did that come to be, and how did the weight thing play into it?
I wasn't. I was working undercover at a department store, and I was picking up shoplifters, so I was walking a lot, and I was still full figured, but I wasn't super fat, and then I gave him babies.
Well, which did you do first? Marry him or give him babies?
No, I got married first, and I was still. I remember going to my the first time I got married, I went into the bridal place, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know if we have sizes that big," and it was a 14 for God's sake.
Oh, for God's sake!
It was a 14. I'm like, Mom. She goes, "I don't know, Mija. Maybe they could add an extra material here or whatever." So I didn't get to pick the dress that I really wanted because they didn't come in my size.
Wow.
Of 14, 16.
Oh my God.
And
you're
my
19 years old.
19 years old, getting married. I'm thinking, ooh. And then didn't get pregnant.
Let me ask you this. At the time, I'm sure you thought you were crazy in love.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back.
That wasn't love. That was just infatuated with being married and getting out of my mom's house.
My husband, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing this, but he was an overweight, obese teenager. And so he also never dated in high school, never had any attention of girls. And he lost weight. He grew 6 inches after he graduated from high school and lost a lot of weight. And he's a drummer. So he was in this little local band.
Yes.
And he married the first girl who paid attention to him.
Of course he did. Because that's what we do when we're thinking in ourselves that we're not worthy. We're not, I wasn't cute enough to be married to get married.
So he was married for a year. How long were you married?
4.
Wow.
And 2 of those years he was in flight school. So,
like away from home.
Yeah, away from home, yes. I bought a house and he didn't know where it was. And
Oh my God. And you had 2 babies.
And I had 2 babies, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and what happened?
He said that I wasn't fun. I was getting a little heavy and a lot heavy after the 2 babies. And he says he just didn't want to be married. And I kind of concurred because I was, 21 years old with 2 kids and getting ready to get, 22, 2 kids and one and getting divorced. And he just deposited me back to my mom's house with the 2 kids. And she's like,
wow,
there's no returns. I don't want her back. It's not okay. And, so there was a lot.
Is that where you stayed then?
Yeah, I stayed there with my mom for a while.
For how long?
Years.
Really?
Yeah. And I left my kids there while I went to work somewhere else because my mom had a housekeeper and a nanny.
Oh, sure.
And the nanny to this day is with our family.
Oh, I love
and she was
that.
15 years old at the time. And
oh my gosh.
Martha now has her own business and she has 5 children. And she's very, very thankful to my family. And she's had Michael since he was 9 months old.
Oh my gosh.
And Melissa since she was 2.
That is amazing.
Yes.
That's a cool thing.
It is.
Okay.
And she makes the best tamales ever.
So you moved away?
I just went from Upland, where Southern California, I went to Palm Springs.
Okay.
With
And
my
you were
girlfriend.
working there?
I was working there.
And
Yeah.
In an apartment?
In an apartment, yes, and I would pick up the kids every other weekend. When my ex-husband didn't have it, I would have it, and my current husband would drive the 2 hours to pick up the kids. And my kids survived, okay? No seatbelts, no car seats, okay? None of those things. Yeah. My son was the floorboard guy.
Oh, God.
I had a two-seater car. So and sometimes it was my husband and I, now husband and I, and the 2 kids, and they would be on my lap.
Oh, God.
There was no back seat.
Oh, God.
So, but they made it. So, yes, I lived in Palm Springs and I worked at Neiman Marcus. And
what'd you do there?
Undercover.
Oh,
I arrested a lot of people.
So, how was your weight?
It was big. I was a big girl.
Okay, and what was the attention from the men or not?
I didn't have any attention from the men. Mm-hmm. I didn't. So, that's when we decided to go to 29 Palms.
Okay. Who?
Me and my girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
Who also married a Marine and still married to this day.
29 Palms is what?
A military base. 10,000 men to every 2 girls. So.
Heck of a place to get some attention.
I did.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And now I felt at least wanted. And I was still looked upon like, she's chunky, but it wasn't, I wasn't rejected.
And what was that like for you from going from no attention, the experience as a 16-year-old with that horrible experience, and the husband, I'm not going to be married, and no attention, and now you've got these 10,000
It was fun.
Boys.
And then my girlfriend, because my ex-husband said I wasn't fun. And we had this little round little plate, and it says, I'm fun.
Oh, my God.
I wore it around because that's who I am. I wore it around.
And you are a ton of fun.
I'm fun. And I wasn't drinking at the time. I wasn't drinking. I just started to drink. I was 25-ish, and I started drinking. So that helped me open up a little bit.
Right.
I had no issues with alcohol, but we still stopped at McDonald's. We stopped at every place to eat. And of course, eating and drinking, that didn't help either.
Right.
But the attention of men for me.
Yes. So now you had some experience.
Yes.
So
yes.
What was that like?
I'm in the 3 digits.
Okay.
And I wanted to be on, and I'm not proud of that number. Well, maybe a little bit.
Oh, you were sleeping around.
Yes,
I
was.
Talking about your weight.
No. I was sleeping around.
Okay.
I'm not proud of that number, but it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And I understand that because I just wanted to build the numbers.
Starved for attention.
I just wanted the attention. I didn't care who they were, what they did, who they married. I just didn't. And I'm sorry that I did that. And I hope nobody out there would ever do that because I wasn't in the right mind.
What does it say about how you felt about yourself at that time?
I didn't care. It was all about the numbers.
Yeah, it was somebody wants me.
Somebody wants me.
Look how many somebodies want me.
Exactly what it was. It was, look, I'm checking it off here.
Yeah.
And so I learned that really quick after that.
And I think that's a really important thing. And I went through a promiscuous phase in college for the same reason, not related to weight, but because of self-esteem.
Self-esteem. I had none.
Right? I needed to be chosen.
Right.
Yeah.
And I picked them, and I liked that. I picked them, and they wanted to come back.
You felt some control.
Yes.
Now, a little while ago, when we were talking, you made a statement about a comment you made to your girlfriend about nobody wants to date me more than once.
Yes. Okay. So when we started dating, and I got the numbers out, and I was kind of teary and crying in my soup here, and saying, I go, Michelle, nobody ever wants to go out with me more than once. And she goes, you're giving away the milk. And I'm like, what? She goes, you sleep with them the first time, and why would they want to come back? And I'm like,
So it's a lack of respect on your part.
On my part.
And a lack of respect from them.
Yes. And
so can I just
yes.
intervene?
Yes.
And that is something that is really important for all of us, is that when we don't respect ourselves, other people don't respect us. And it doesn't matter if it's giving away the milk, or if it's being a people pleaser, or if it's I'm setting no boundaries for myself. When we don't respect ourselves, other people feel it, sense it, and they will take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And they took advantage of that, not only just on my body, but on my money. And I would give them everything and anything they wanted.
So they liked me. So
yes.
they chose me.
They chose me.
Okay, that's another good point. And that, again, not necessarily related to handing out money or giving away sex, but when we do for others because it's a need of our own.
Correct.
But we don't recognize it as such.
No, and
it's just who I am.
It's just who I am, and this is what I want to do, and I have the choice to do this. I was like, because it was women libers. I have the choice. I could do whatever a guy could do. But when my girlfriend sat down, which is still my girlfriend, Michelle would say, she goes, but if you want a long-term relationship, it has to stop. And so the night that I met my husband, I had stopped that night.
That is a great story. In other words, she told her friend, I'm not going to sleep with this. I'm not going to sleep with whoever tonight.
Whoever.
I'm not out for a hookup.
Well, so but I wanted to so badly. And she kept looking at me like.
Because you know what? That was what you knew to do.
I knew. I didn't know anything better.
He'll like me if I sleep with him.
Right. And to this day, I think we're at 40 years that Brandon and I have been together.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you met him.
Mm-hmm. And we started dating.
And how did he feel about your weight? How did you feel about your weight at that time?
To this day, Brian sees pictures of me when I was large, even just, the 5 years ago or whatever. He says, I never, ever saw you like that.
Yeah.
He said he's never seen, he goes, I see pictures. I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize how big you were. Or he never said, oh, you're never. He did comment one time a long time ago about something, and he said he's sorry that he ever said it. But he's never said, oh, you can't fit into that. And one time I remember we were just recently married, and he wanted to buy me a sexy outfit. It was a size extra small. I'm like, where do you think I am going to be wearing this on an arm? He's like, I hold it up, and I thought this was going to fit. I'm like, really?
So the message I'm hearing is Brian saw
Me.
Adele.
Yes, he did. He did. Always. Mm-hmm. And so there was one time, and I'll never forget this. I was crying because I was in this outfit that didn't look good. And he took me, and I was in the outfit, and he put me in front of the mirror. And now I've got makeup everywhere. I haven't even told you the story. He put me, I had makeup, I was all dressed up, and he goes, how do you want me to love you if you don't love this person? And he had me in front of the mirror.
Wow.
And that was so insightful for me.
God, no kidding.
And for a kid, he was in his 20s. How do you want me to love you if you don't love yourself? And this is where I've come, and I always call this mirror work. We talk about mirror work. I had to do the mirror work to know that the reflection that was coming out, inside and out, that I had to love myself in order for other people to feel love for me.
That is exactly right. And that goes along with the self-esteem.
Exactly.
I saw a thing on Facebook yesterday. I didn't post it on the Berry Aftercare page because it got into some other stuff. But that was the message. It was, as we learn to love ourselves, we let go of
So much.
lack of self-esteem. We let go of self-hatred. We let go of negative self-talk. We let go of, you have to let something go to increase that love of self. And that's what I've seen. That's what I've seen in you.
Yes.
In these 23 years.
Yes.
So at that time, what a beautiful thing he did.
Yes, he did. And we weren't even married yet.
What an insightful young man.
He was always been, he's been my rock. And things, we've been married forever. We have ups and downs. And I could tell you there was definitely more ups. And we were really poor. We used to have to count our cans to get gas money.
Yeah.
And and that's okay because it made us who we are today.
For sure.
And it made us stronger as a couple.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so I was going to say something about that message he gave you.
Mirror work?
Well, that too. Anyway, I'll think of it. But what an amazing gift he gave you that day.
He did.
Something that was planted inside of you and
to this day
has grown into fruition. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Brian's a Marine.
Yes, he is.
So he was like in top physical form.
Great body. Both in clothes and out.
Yeah. So he saw you. What was it like to be seen for you? Did you... was it frightening?
It was.
Did you
for
push
me,
him away?
No. I took him on because at that time I'm like, oh baby, he's got a great body. He's really likes being woo. I always thought that the fat girl got someone. I actually won that prize, and I would do anything to keep him, even if it wasn't healthy. And that's where I had to learn that couldn't happen. I'm lucky that he never took advantage of that, but I had to like myself, and he was like, you don't have to work that hard to keep me.
That's beautiful.
I didn't have to work that hard.
I'll tell you what.
Yes, I
think God sends us people.
He does.
And a lot of times people blow it.
Yes.
Because of their own issues or
whatever.
Or they don't work through the hard times.
Yes.
People give up too easily.
Absolutely. Now, I've been one that wanted to work, and he's like, no. He goes, we're married for life, so we have to work through that. And as we talked about the self-esteem, even further in my life, after the bariatric surgery, I had attention that I didn't go out seeking, okay? Now men are coming to me, but I'm very married.
Okay, so how long were you married before you had the surgery?
Let's see. I got married in 1991 and had surgery in 2003. So it was a long time.
1991 to 2000.
11 years?
11 years.
11 years.
Okay, and was your weight ever an issue in your marriage?
It was never an issue in our marriage. It was an issue to him only because I couldn't breathe or I couldn't make it. There was a time, even I talk about it now, before my surgery, my daughter was living with us. She's always lived with us. But she would say, Mom, you smell.
Oh, really?
And she says, do you have PPE? Did you PPE or did you not be able to wipe? Because I couldn't reach.
Yes.
So, and our house I was a double wide trailer at the time. And he's like, well, let me help you get in the shower. And he had to remove the shower doors of my trailer so we could just put a curtain so I can get in and out. I was scratching myself right here to get in and out of because I couldn't get in.
Oh my gosh.
So he would he would adapt whatever it took.
That is so beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, you were loved and you are loved.
I'm very loved.
What a gift.
It is. It is a gift.
Okay.
He is a gift.
Okay, so you had your daughter being brutally honest.
Yes, and she did the grocery shopping because I couldn't make it through the grocery store. I still see a lot of larger women when they hang on on
Cart.
the cart
Because they can't breathe.
because that was me. Or I had, the little
Zoom.
Yes, and I was embarrassed using that, but that was the only way I could do my own grocery shopping. So Melissa did the grocery shopping.
And how old was Melissa?
She was 16.
I want to make a point about that too in a minute, but go ahead.
She was 16. She was paying my bills. She was a cheerleader at the high school, and I was so proud of her because she was beautiful. She's always been beautiful, and I felt embarrassed to be her mother going to the cheerleading things, and they're like, "Oh, that's your mom," and I couldn't make it up the stairs because I couldn't make it up to the top to sit. I had to sit on the bottom.
Yeah.
It was tough.
So honest.
But she never even saw that. And neither did her girlfriends. But she just knew that I couldn't make it to, Mom, you don't have to sit up there. Mom, you don't have to do this. Mom, let me take you that. So she was always good that way.
The point I want to make about that is a lot of times we think our issues, whatever they may be, in this case it was your weight, don't affect the people in our lives. You have a 16-year-old who doesn't need to be shopping for the family. And I think that's one of the things that is painful to look at.
Yes.
And the show that is recently airing that Dr. Proctor did, I think it's called Dangerously Obese.
I've seen every one.
And I don't know what they've shown on there. I haven't watched it, but there was one episode that I did with a mother and a teenage daughter. Because the daughter was doing so much of the adultness and missing out on her own childhood. Now, that's an extreme situation, but I think that it's important that we all look at, like with me, it was my other addictions.
Right.
It affected the people in my life, and I would have sworn to you.
It didn't. This is just my problem.
Yeah.
But it's not. It becomes everybody's problem, And then there was times where we had insurance, and they weren't sure if they were going to give me insurance because that's when we had to pre-qualify for insurance, back in the day. And luckily, we just continued this insurance, so that was never an issue. But if I would have stopped that insurance, they would have said, "Oh, you have what they call it, a pre-qualifying,
pre-existing
pre-existing." And back then, obesity was pre-existing. What, are you going to take away my insurance because I'm fat?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And that's what it is. It's being fat, and it does affect your personal life, your business life, my jobs I didn't get, my daughter's life. It infected everything.
Yeah, it does.
And I call it infected.
I love that.
Because it infected everything.
Talk more about that.
It infected my relationship with my husband. I didn't want to be naked. It felt uncomfortable, even though it wasn't his thing. And infected my daughter because now she has to be the adult and tell her mom that she smells like whatever. It infected my family, my dynamic with my girlfriends because, again, I was
accommodations.
Yes. I had to wait for the table, not the booth. That was horrible. We'd have to wait an hour or 20 minutes longer than most people because I needed a table. And then the chairs couldn't have sides.
Yep.
It couldn't have sides, or I'd come out with bruises.
Right.
And so all those things, again, I infected their lives with my issue of being.
And that in no way makes you less than or invalidates your worth as a human. And I think that's sometimes what we do to ourselves when we are aware that we're affecting other people's lives. We're like, I'm bad, or there's something wrong. All those things we do to ourselves. And that's a sadness.
It is.
It's also a reality.
It's a reality, but I had to understand that they didn't look at it negatively. They just knew that was what happened during this time.
Right. So they accepted you more than you were
I was not accepted of myself. Yeah. I thought I was a big inconvenience for them.
And that's another thing that leads me to talking about, and society is god-awful, right? God-awful to people who carry extra weight. And I really, really hate that. And yet I think that the person carrying the weight is harder on themselves than almost anybody else is.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was hard on myself and everything. I didn't think, I talked about it with my husband. I said, there was times that I just wanted to check out.
Like suicidal?
Yeah,
check out?
I just wanted to check out. Now, did I ever attempt it? No. But I processed that. And the only reason that I didn't check out, people, I'm telling you honestly, is because it's against my religion. I would have gone to hell. And I was said, I'm already in hell. I can't imagine how worse it could have been.
Yeah.
So it was really, we've always been taught that, checking out that way is going to take you to hell. And so and this is his body, not mine. So I had to be strong in my faith that I was going to be okay and I was going to make it to the other side. I never even imagined the other side would look like this.
Yeah.
That all my hard work could look like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you had the surgery, what was it that led you to make that decision?
I couldn't breathe. And 4 months prior, no, it was about a year prior, the doctor said I was going to have a heart attack at the age of 40.
Wow.
He says, you're heading to heart attack stage.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, my daughter's not married, my son's not married. Am I going to ever see their kids? And the other thing that really bothered me, besides not seeing my kids and my grandkids, is my husband's going to get remarried.
There you go. You said, I'm going to keep this man.
I was just like, whoa, hey, I don't think so, right? And I know men, when they lose wives, the first thing they want to do is get married again. So I'm like, no. I've worked on this one way too long. Yeah. So no. So yes.
Okay, so you made the decision, and when you made that decision, and what did you do pre-surgically?
Okay, so preparation with Kaiser of Portland. It's one of the best bariatric programs I have ever heard of. They made me have the class, and then I had to do a face-to-face, and then I had the doctor prior. But they came out to my home.
Wow.
And they opened the refrigerator, and the dietitian said, you really need to get rid of... Now, I had no money. I'm like, well, what do you do with that stuff? Because it was cheaper for me to eat like that than like that. Yeah. And they talked about that. They made you go to the gym, and I had a book, and
that is amazing.
They asked me to go to the gym at least twice a week. I went 5. They asked me to do what else did they ask me to do? They wanted me to do 1,200 calories a day. I did it, and I wrote it down. What I wrote down, which they didn't ask me to do, I wrote down how I felt that day.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And that was the insight on my part, because I was pissy some days. I was really happy that things were, going in the right direction. So if you talk to any of my counselors during that time, they were like, most people.
What do you mean counselors?
They're the bariatric counselors. We had counselors that we would talk to, and they'd check in on you. Where are you on the thing? It was a great program.
Oh, love that.
Very, very good. And they would say, where are you in the program? Most people take a year to a year and a half to get through. It took me 6 months.
I love that they were thorough and saying, you're not doing this till you do all this stuff.
Yeah, they never said you weigh this much, you need to be that way. They didn't say that, because
they needed to see you were doing what you needed to do.
Yeah, I had to have the dietitian part. I needed the counseling part, the before and after, and they made you sign in at a bariatrics prior.
I love that.
They signed you in, and you had to show that you were there.
That's great. That is great.
They were very good. And so, yes, I had a lot of that preparation. So it took me 6 months to come through.
That is fantastic. You were determined.
Yes.
You were serious about it.
Yes.
Now, in that preparation time, did you anticipate problems in the marriage? Did you anticipate that this would change how you felt about yourself or how you would behave in your life?
So our counselors talked to us about it.
Okay.
They talked about the attraction that you were going to get, and they talked about maybe your husband's not going to want you thin because they've always had you in a heavy set. They talked about that, and I thought, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. So to be honest with you, there was 5 of us girls. Okay, all 5 girls, 4 girls and a gentleman
in your class.
In the really tight
cohort.
Yeah, in these we had
preparation.
Yeah, in our preparation stage, and we all had it open. We didn't have a laparoscopic. Okay, there was 5 of us, and we all were on the same time. We all had surgery at the same time. We all had the same doctor, so we were all in the same stage.
Nice. And so you had a little built-in support.
Right,
system. But I'm going to turn this light down. I'm not snuggling on you.
That's like a snuggle.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. And there was, and all 5 of us were married. Okay, we're all 5 in long-term marriages, all of us. And as we got thinner, I was noticing they were having issues in their marriages.
Okay.
Back then was Craigslist. Girls were hooking up on Craigslist.
Oh, damn.
And then one got divorced because she got caught really ugly. And then the other one was cheating on her husband from work. And then this gentleman was cheating on everyone. And I was like, whoa.
What's happening?
Yes. And again, out of 5 of us, Brandon and I are still married.
Okay. So, sometimes I think I hear you say Brandon, and sometimes I hear
Brian.
you say Brian.
Brian.
I know it's Brian. I'm like,
Brian.
why am I hearing Brandon?
No, it's Brian.
Like, do you have two husbands?
No. Oh, yes, but no. Yes. Yes.
That is really critical for people to hear.
Right.
Especially if you haven't had surgery or if you're going through that difficult stage. Is that, and we're going to talk about this next, but prior to, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. Be careful. A lot of people turn to alcohol after surgery. Be careful. A lot of people start shopping after surgery. Be careful because a lot of people's relationships fall apart after surgery. Be careful because blah, blah, blah. Most people say what you said won't happen to me.
It won't happen to me. There's just no way. I
'Cause we
love my
don't think it will.
husband. There's no way nobody's going to ever look at me. There's just no way that I'm ever going to drink more than I should. DUI.
Right.
I had a DUI.
How soon afterwards?
I was less than 3 years afterwards.
Okay, so those first couple of years, what was happening?
I was going through changes I didn't understand.
Such as?
I was losing weight. I was getting traction. Men were looking at me for the first time ever, and I didn't know what to do with it. I was out drinking with all my single girlfriends, which I shouldn't have been. I should have been at home, but nothing was going to stop me from going because I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed all that, the attention, like, whoa, babies. I'm like, that was great.
So you're making up for lost time?
I did, and unfortunately, it ended well for me, but it doesn't always.
How was that playing out at home? Was Brian like, where are you all the time? Why aren't you home?
He knew. He wasn't stupid.
Right.
He knew you're going to go out again, 4th time this week.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm noticing you're not spending money. Because I didn't have to spend money. People were buying my drinks. And then I was driving home, and then we got the DUI, and then I got caught cheating.
Let's talk about this DUI.
Ugh, it was awful. It was awful.
Were you a big drinker before surgery? No, you weren't, because you didn't start till you were 27. So what were you drinking after the surgery?
Just beer.
How much? I mean,
like a lot of beer. Because as people,
Like a lot.
But most people know that when you have bariatric surgery, you could drink 1 or 2, you get a little tipsy, and then it stops, and then you get sober again, and you start drinking again.
Right, because 1 drink following gastric bypass surgery equals 3.
Yes.
It's not the same with all the surgeries, but it affects you
Differently.
fast and hard, and then you don't feel it.
And then you don't feel it, and you just keep going. So I was just like, no, I chose at times, many times, to drink rather than eat.
Okay. So we're switching from eating to drinking.
Correct.
And soaking up all that attention and making up for the lost time. And this is what I think a lot of people for sure don't anticipate. And then they get a little cocky.
Oh, yeah, I did.
So let's talk about that.
So I got cocky, and I got a DUI, but I didn't get pulled over, by the way. No, it got worse. I had another girlfriend in the car with me that was drunk, and she also had gastric bypass. She jumped out of my car. And then at a stop sign. So then I went around the building to see where she could be. Then I saw a bunch of cops way over here. Yes. And I'm thinking, ooh, that's her over there. I better go help her bound out. No, it's 1:15, go to 2 in the morning. I drive up to the policeman.
Bravo.
Okay?
Bravo, Adele.
Really? And he's like, I go, hey, is my girlfriend here? He goes, no, where have you coming from? I said, the bar. He goes, are you drunk? And I said, it's 2:15 in the morning. Yes. Rocket science? Yes, I've been drinking.
Nice.
Duh. And then I turned around, and they cuffed me. And not to mention,
invited the DUI.
I invited the DUI, which is the best thing I've ever done, by the way.
Amen.
Everything.
I'm
So
feeling
my son-in-law at the time was the 911 operator for that
Can't
county.
Make this stuff up.
From the county. And he calls my husband and says, I don't think Mom's coming home. I'll pick her up after work. Okay. So my grandson, who's now 19, he was in the back seat of the car, and he says, I bailed Nana out.
He was with you?
Because he had to go pick up my grandson, so my son-in-law. So he just went across the way. He had him in the back seat.
Too much.
So he's 19. He's 19. So it tells you how long ago. And since then, okay, let me tell you, that picture that they take of you, not attractive.
That's not what you want on Facebook.
No. It wasn't. And then they put it on. And Oregon had this DUI.
Oh, how lovely!
Free.
So we can all see
pictures, and it was at like a 7-Eleven, and there's pickups from last night, and it has your thing, and I'm thinking, oh wow, my hair was slicked back like this. I had this eyeline. Oh, I just wasn't pretty. I look at that, and you know what? To this day, I want you to know, I still have that picture copied.
You know what I love That's good. And the reason for that is?
I never want to be there again.
Right.
I won't drink and drive. I will walk. I will leave my car. I will give my car to somebody. But back in my day, we didn't have Ubers. We had yellow taxis that would take 3 hours to get there, so we didn't do that. And they were very expensive. But, there's Uber, there's friends. You could call a friend, whatever. There's just no reason nowadays
That's exactly
for people to have a DUI. There just isn't.
Absolutely. Yes, but what happens with alcohol? We lose our judgment.
Out the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a couple things you said that I think are really critical for anybody listening to this is, first of all, you never thought it would happen to you. You weren't a big drinker beforehand. Now you're going out. Your husband's like, where the heck have you been? You're out again. You're out there like, okay, soaking it up because I never had this before. It's boosting my ego. I'm feeling a little bit cocky. And I see this. I call it the look at me stage.
Oh, absolutely. That's yeah, look at me. I am skinny. I am fun. I am doing everything, and everybody wants to be me.
And everybody thinks that sense of self-esteem is a real thing.
It's not
a phase. It's not real.
It's not real.
I get it. It makes perfect sense, but it is short term if it's not there beforehand. So if you have low self-esteem and then you lose this weight and you do the look at me, which again, I'm not saying anything bad about that. It's just a natural phase. And when you've been in this field or when you've had the surgery for you see it.
Right.
You see it. So it's a thing. It's a learning tool. So for some people, and you and many other people that I know and love have gotten a DUI after the surgery and they don't do it again. That's called learning from that experience. You said it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I did. It was the best thing that ever happened to me when it came to my drinking. It stopped it. It made me be more responsible. Now I have grandkids.
Good lessons to teach.
There's just, and I talk about it all the time because it's still in my head of what I looked like at that time, how depleted I looked, how I was just not attractive look.
And that is not who I want to be.
No, it's not who I want to be at all.
Right.
So
nor is it who you thought you would become.
No.
Right? So again, it's not an indictment or a shaming thing. It's part of the process. So if you see people going through that, have some compassion, but also be direct and say, I'm concerned.
Right. So to me, a lot of people that are out there and they're going through this, they're like, oh, that just happened to her. It's never going to happen to me. But as you see, it does. And then I remember people telling me that. And I'm like, holy crap.
Okay. So people were saying things to you.
Yep. There was like, oh, you remember when we talked about this? Remember we were going through that? And I'm like, oh, that's never going to happen to me. It did. All those things happened to me. Every single one of them. And I had to process myself out of that.
And, for me also, being told I was an alcoholic, and I was saying you were because, it stopped you. It was a phase, I think, for you, but it wasn't for me. And finding that out was the best thing that ever happened to me because it helped me realize this is not who I want to be. Some people ignore that. Some people don't say, okay, then what do I have to do to not be like that?
But I chose. I chose. There's just no way.
So did I meet you during that wild time?
Yes, you did. That's why I had the beer in my hand. Yes, I did. Yes, you did. And
I'm like, oh,
yay.
She's the wild thing.
Yeah, and I did. I like to think that I wouldn't do it again. I know I won't do it again because that's not who I am now. But I am glad I went through that part,
Absolutely.
because it made me who I am today on the other side. I'm much more educated. I understand what happens. I understand how not to do it again, and I don't want to be like that anymore. That's not who I am.
So let's compare that to, because it's really the same thing on a grander scale. So when people fall off the wagon and don't follow their meal plan or whatever, and they go crazy and beat themselves up, it's like, no, this is a learning opportunity. Just like all the things I went through that I've shared with people that I have so much shame about, but I'm not going to live there because I learned and said, that is not who I want to be. What do I have to do not to be that person?
Right.
So I agree. I wouldn't trade any of the things that taught me the lessons I needed to learn, and so grateful that I was willing to learn the lessons, and so were you.
And I am, and I was grateful that I learned those lessons early on.
Absolutely.
And that my husband's still with me during that time, and that my family's still with me, and they understand, at least my children understand what I've gone through to get to where I'm at today.
So let's talk about this husband. thing, because here's where I think a lot of people could save marriages, but they throw in the towel because they don't. I'm working with a young woman right now, and I adore her. Absolutely treasure this young woman, and she is kind of going through that. She's not acting out. She's had thoughts about acting out, and things with her husband have like disintegrated, and she said, I'm ready to leave. And I said, that's a choice. That is an option. But what I would like you to consider doing is, before you take action on that, and this is what you did, and this is what I did, it's like, process through this with him. Go to therapy, process through all the things that are going on with him, all the things that are going on with you, and why it's imploding. And then if you choose to split,
It's a whole different story.
It's a whole different story. You're not hating each other. It's an amicable thing. You have both worked through some things. You're going to be better for if you move on to another partner. So I really encourage people, when this process happens and there's so much change after surgery and you're feeling that high and you're feeling like your self-esteem has soared, which is probably temporary, but work through things. If you choose to split, that's fine, but do so in a constructive way.
Right. And so when it came to my husband and I, we sat down and talked, and he understood why I did the things I did. He understood that I'd never gotten that kind of response before. And he's like, okay, this is your one pass and we're done. This is not going to happen again, because now him and I worked through this.
Now we know.
Exactly. And, I'm not going to say I never thought about it or what. It's just not something I don't want to lose.
You didn't want to lose that husband.
No, I didn't. I didn't want to lose the husband. He has been very good to us and my children, our children, forever and ever. And the thought of leaving that, it was not something I wanted. But for what? So, and I always say, to train somebody over again?
Right.
No, I didn't want. But I admire him for sitting back and looking at me and understanding.
That is
and saying, you've got this one chance. You've got to pass, no more. And it never we never bring it up anymore. Every once in a while we'll talk about it.
Sure.
But it's not like
he's not punishing you with
he's
it.
never punished me with it. Never punished me with it.
And that is such an amazing thing, that he would be able to, kind of like him standing you in front of the mirror, to go, okay, I understand this. You've never gotten attention. You've never had men seek you out, blah, blah. I get it. But I'm not going to stay for it.
Right.
If it continues.
Correct.
That is beautiful. And that is love. That is forgiveness.
Yes.
That is compassion.
Yes.
Now, if you would have continued on in that way, things would have ended differently.
Correct.
But you were like, no, I value this.
Yes. It's worth saving.
I'm learning.
Yes. And life is a learning lesson every day. Okay, so now to me it's 22 years. I went down to 200 pounds I stayed there for
For
really
how long? I mean, for
a decade.
How long did it get you to get to 200 pounds?
A year and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I was 497. I went down. I went like this. So I'm now down to 200, and I'm trying to keep the 200, and it wasn't doing good, and I was going up to 220 and then down, and then I thought I was
normal.
Yeah, I thought I was at 220. No, I was like 260, because again, I always lied. I lied to you. I lied to myself. I lied to everything every time it came down the scale. I don't lie any longer. So as time went on, and then COVID hit, and there's years, decades that went through, I was noticing my size went from a 14 to 14 was the tightest I ever got back then, and it was really tight. So I was going to 18. Oh, 18's a good size, 18. But then I went to the 20s, and I'm like, oh, it's just because the size are wrong here. And then, the maker makes it wrong, right? And then I'm going to 22s, and then now COVID's over, and I'm large again. I'm at 5,000 feet where I live. The air is thin. I have a 3-story house to go up. I couldn't breathe again. I couldn't breathe, and I saw my whole life flash again. I'm like, holy crap, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And it's my husband never said anything. He never said, oh, you're getting big, or nothing ever. And sometimes I got mad, because you would say, hey, why don't you say something? He goes, I don't see it. I can't say something I don't. You've never seen it. So now I'm looking at myself in the mirror again and saying, December 17th, 2023, I went to my insurance and asked for the GP1s. GLP1s, yes. They put me on the Ozempic. I was 300 and some pounds.
Okay, so you had gotten down to 220, which was heavenly.
Yes.
Okay, and now you're at 320.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's years later.
Okay, yes. I'm not going to butt anything.
No, but you know what? But I saw the same things coming again. Let's talk about what happened. I'm going through drive-thrus again. I'm eating at In-N-Out. I'm not eating the loaves of bread that I used to eat. I used to eat 3 loaves of bread before I even went home. No, I don't. I never did that. But I wasn't, and I was consciously going, I need to count. My behaviors were changing.
Back to the old.
And it was so easy. It was just like a robe that you used to wearing.
Absolutely. It's so familiar and comfortable. And
I could smell In-N-Out from 3 miles away. I go, there's one. Where is it? Where is that thing? And of course I thought I was being good by getting it wrapped in a lettuce, but still when you eat 2 of them, it's the same thing. You eat it with the bread.
I'm having a moment of nostalgia. Remember we were singing a song from Witchy Poo?
Yes.
Well, I just had another one. Remember, follow your nose. It always knows the flavor of fruit wherever you go.
Well, we don't have fruit. We got In-N-Out, okay? Yeah. So, yes, I was back and falling into the same things. I noticed my car going to the drive-thrus, which I didn't like.
That car.
Just goes.
We don't take accountability.
No, it's my car.
The car.
Yeah. And then I noticed my checking account was going, and I was buying food, eating it, and then eating again when I got home, and I saw that happening again.
Retrospectively, was there anything going on in your life?
No. Oh, well, yes. I apologize. My parents are dying.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was in charge of everything, and I didn't know how. I was very stressed, and I was having super anxiety. I don't even think you know this. There was times during this time before I got on the shots, my anxiety was so high that about anxiety. I wanted to feel something else. I would hit my head against the wall.
Oh, baby.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because if you hit your head against the wall,
you don't feel that.
I'm not feeling what I'm supposed to. I'm feeling the head. And Brian would hold me.
That's why people cut.
Yes, exactly. And he would hug me and hug me and hug me and tell me it was going to be okay and it's going to be okay. And I did. And all of that made a huge difference on my eating until I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't take care of my parents while they die like I promised I was going to if I can't take care of myself. And I'm not being selfish on that. That's just the truth.
That is not selfish. That is healthy.
But it could be selfish. It sounds to me.
You know what I say? There's healthy selfish and there's unhealthy selfish.
Okay, this was definitely an unhealthy selfish. I needed
taking charge of the health though was healthy selfish.
Yes, and I accepted, and I accepted the help, and I said, okay, I need to do this and take care of it. So I did. Yes, there was stuff going on. So once I got on the GLPs for the first year, and it didn't come down like this. It's not something that just goes your mouth. No.
For some people it does.
No, it didn't. It took a year to get quite a bit of weight off. And then I noticed January of 2020, this year, I was stable at 180, which is not bad from 210, 310. That was good. But I said to myself, okay, I got to do something. So they changed me to the triceptide, and that's when I continued. Okay,
So I have a quick question.
Sure.
As the weight was coming off and you were doing the GLP-1s, were you changing your behaviors back to the healthier versions? And what spurred that?
I know that I didn't want to keep doing this roller coaster. I call it an adventure, okay? This is my adventure. I didn't want to do. So I started to adapt. I get up every morning. First thing I do is brush my teeth. For my teeth, I go to the scale. I weigh the scale. People say you shouldn't weigh every day.
You got to do what works for you.
It works for me because it kind of guides my day.
Yes,
okay. Then I sit down, and one thing I do that a lot of people don't understand, I put makeup on every day. Not a lot of makeup, but I put some makeup on, and I do my hair. And even if I'm going to run around the house in jammies or whatever, I get a new pair of jammies on and something. And I want to make sure that even if I'm in my slippers, I want to be the best I could look in my slippers.
Good for you.
And that makes me feel better.
Absolutely.
And that's the only reason. And she goes, "What? You don't even have to do that. Your hair's..." No, I need to sit in front of the mirror.
If you need to do that,
I need to do that. So then I go downstairs, and then I make my protein drink and take the rest of my vitamins. And then, of course, I have trash day Sunday. Mm-hmm. I clean everything out on Sunday of my refrigerator. And I have meal prep Monday.
Beautiful.
So those are the things that I have to do. Now, we're Hispanic. It's tamale time. So I have had half a tamale, and then I had the other half. And then during this time, I gained 4 pounds. And I'm like, and my husband's like, it's only 4 pounds. I said, yeah, but if I don't take care of it now, it's going to go to 4 to 2 more plus another one. And then I get back on my roller coaster that I don't want. So I took those 4 pounds off and I'm back to my schedule. Even when I travel, as right here, I travel with my blender. I travel with my protein. I travel with my things because these are things that are important to me. Mm-hmm. And I still go out to eat. And today I had one taco, and instead of rice and beans, I just had beans, and I had just a little bit. So that was enough.
Absolutely.
And it's not like I'm deprived of anything. But what I got to do today, which I've never been able to do, Banana Republic has my size.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Okay, I've never been able to go to any Calvin Klein or Guess or any of those places and go, I'm sorry, do you have a size 8? Can I fit? And I fit into them. Yeah. And it's again, it's not about how I look, it's how I feel when I buy it. Mm-hmm. It's how I feel that I've done the work. I deserve the work. You deserve the work if you're doing the work, and know that there's great stuff on the other side.
Absolutely. And the Adele that I know today,
different.
When we had a Berry Aftercare get together in Florida, and I've seen you over the years.
Yeah. Oh, many times.
And I've seen the growth in you every single time. But I'm telling you what, I mean, nobody arrives, but I would say you've arrived.
Yes.
I mean, you have grown into yourself. I can see, I hear it in the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you set boundaries with people. You care about yourself.
I do. I care about myself because this is who I have to live with. Now, you guys don't have to live with me, but this is what I have to live with. And again, I call it mirror work. I have to like the reflection, and it's not about what I'm wearing or how I'm makeup on. It has nothing to do. It's about the reflected. I'm reflecting on you. My reflection on the world and how I'm perceived. And it's not that I want everybody to like me, because not everybody's going to like me. I'm a lot. I get that. But I know that I've done the work for me to like myself.
Right. And that's what it takes. And you are living it. I've seen you do your discipline, follow your discipline. Mm-hmm. And it requires discipline, and it requires hard work.
I think as an addict, and I talk about it all the time. I said, I'm going to go see my doctor. She's my addiction doctor. Oh, you have an addiction? I'm like, yeah, food. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I am very comfortable telling you I am a food addict. Mm-hmm. It is difficult for me to stop eating once I start eating.
Yeah, addiction is addiction.
And it's just what it is. And I know there's a lot of acceptable addictions out there, such as going to the gym, or, I'm not going to go to jail if my husband calls me Mrs. Amazon Prime. So, yeah, so, there's an addiction there. But, those things, at least I understand the addiction, and I could curb it if I need to when my credit card's maxed out. That's when I curb it. But I mean, yes, there's things that are not going to take me to jail.
Right.
And there's things that I'm not going to get fat with. And, if it's addiction, I have to walk around the lake, or if I have to walk on the beach, or whatever those things are, I'll bring those on any day.
Yeah. Any behavior that's causing problems in your life, right? Like if you're at the gym 8 hours, that is not healthy.
That's not healthy.
Right? And your husband's going to go, you're gone again.
Yes.
Yes. Or if you are maxing out 7 credit cards, that's not okay. It's affecting other people's lives. But, right? I mean, addiction, that's why we call it whack-a-mole addiction.
Yes.
And so we have to be very diligent about our whole lives.
And
right?
I always tell people, this is not easy. It takes a lot of self-discipline, and it has to, and self-awareness, and that's the hard thing. People have to be
honest with yourself.
And again, the reflection on me, I have to be honest with myself and said, hey, you had 4 tamales, so you're going to be paying for that, and I have to understand that. Yeah. And then not to be so hard on myself as well.
Thank you for that, because this is my new thing. Is self-compassion with accountability.
Yes.
So be compassionate and kind and loving towards yourself, and also accountable. Don't let yourself go, well, it's okay. Because it's not.
No, it's not okay.
Right? But it doesn't make you bad and horrible either.
No,
it's like, it happened. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do about it now?
Yeah. I'm not going to eat 4 more.
Right. Right.
Although
so
I love
to. Beat yourself up about the 4. You go, okay, stop already.
I ate the 4 in the 3 days. I ate 4. They were wonderful. And I have to understand that I gained those 4 pounds, and I get it, but I don't have to continue that behavior.
Right.
And I have to get back on my track on what I needed to do. And I went, in those days, I'll be honest with you, I talk about this all the time. During those days, I was still in my house and I was doing my routine. I didn't want to weigh.
Because you knew.
Because I knew I knew. I just didn't want to wait. But did I? Oh, I did.
Good.
Because I had to know that I had to take responsibility for that number on the scale. Now please, I was a big girl. 4 pounds, we could probably poop it out and be fine. Okay,
Right.
that's not an issue because 4 pounds is not a big deal. But in my mind, it's 4 pounds that leads to 2 pounds more,
Right.
to leads to another pound, and then next 10 pounds, and then I'm out of control.
Right.
And that's what I never want to feel.
Exactly. And that's why discipline is required.
Yes. And again, this is not easy. I applaud anybody that's made it this far, and know that, and for those that are not this far, know that there's help out there.
Yes.
Ask me questions. I have always told, and I'm really honest to everybody, as you well know, if you have questions that you're afraid to ask anybody, ask me, because I will tell you the truth. I will
Yes.
not sugarcoat it.
Right.
Ask any of my girlfriends. If you want to know, I will tell you.
What are your social media? Where are you
I'm on Facebook.
findable?
On Facebook.
Facebook.
And Facebook and Instagram. I haven't learned a lot, but Facebook, I'm on live all the time, and you see me in my closet.
Yes.
They see my closet, and I talk about things that are important to me, like getting this gobble here on that. Something went viral and it didn't work. Then there's an electric thing, or my red face, or my whatever. I try those things because, as we know, when we start losing weight, things start to get the jowls, and we all know that I got a new set, the 3rd set. I love my
You
set.
do what you want to do.
Yeah, yes,
you
but
know?
that makes me feel better.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I've always wanted, and my husband's very good about that kind of thing. And he's like, okay, what more? What he worries about, and a lot of people do this. When you start losing weight, you get this done, and you want this done, and then you want this done, and where does that stop?
Right. And that's where you have to have people in your life who go, hey, I'm concerned because you're drinking too much.
Right.
Hey, I'm concerned because you're spending 5 hours a day at the gym. Hey, I'm concerned because there's been...
Your plastic surgeon has you on speed dial?
Yeah, those kinds of things.
Yes. I'm not putting stuff in my face, but yes. To me, it's not about the looks, and everybody's, oh, you look great. I get it. I understand.
Listen.
I'm not dumb. I know I'm not butt ugly. I understand that, but it's taken a lot to look like this, and you know that, and there's a lot of work still to come.
Yeah.
The normalcy of my life is so different than it was 4 years ago.
Right. And your looks don't identify you.
No, they do not. They do
Who
not.
you are identifies you.
No, because
Your husband's always seen that.
Yes, I like to be able to reflect a positive, well-rounded, grounded person.
Absolutely.
Not just in my home life, but in my family life, in my business life, in any life, and people out there.
We're a whole person.
Yes, we are, and being grounded is huge.
It is.
And I have to thank Dr. Connie, because she told me what not to do, and I did it anyways.
And then you learned from it.
And I did.
Well, guess how I got there? Same way.
I always told people I was Connie's poster child. There's my face. Please don't do this. Yeah, let's do that. And my husband say, because we used to call you my crazy doctor. She goes, what would the crazy doctor say to you? I'm like, she tell me not to do this. And he goes, you're doing it anyways. I said, I know. Yes. But you got me to the other side. And I appreciate that she sees that.
I did not get you anywhere. You did.
Yes.
I appreciate being part of your journey.
But you died without your guidance. Who knows where I'd be?
Well,
Let's just be honest. With this kind of weight loss on anybody's life, not just mine, there's got to be aftercare. Right. And that's what we talk about. There's got to be aftercare, and there's got to be accountability, not only from you, but from yourself.
Absolutely.
Everybody has to be accountable for.
That's right.
You've got to be accountable.
That's right. Absolutely. Ain't nobody can do it for you.
No one's going to do it for you. And if you have doctors that just kind of left you out there, well, then this is when you get up and say, you know what, I need help. Yep. I need some help. I need just to talk to somebody.
Hey, and that's why we let people join Berry Aftercare for a month for free.
Yes.
Check it out. See if it's your home.
If
it's your neighborhood.
And without these ladies, they ground me. I'm telling you, they ground me. Yeah. They see other things that I may not see.
And that's what we need.
And it's
and vice versa.
I hope so.
Right? We share with others, they share with us, and we all learn and grow.
And that's all it's all about.
Thanks for your honesty.
Oh, always.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being part of Berry Aftercare and sharing so much with so many. And I had people teach me too.
You've taught me so much, and I'm lucky to still be married because of you, and I'm lucky that I have my children, and that I know you think that, but you've always been in the back of my mind. And I know, Doc, if Connie would say this, you got to be careful what you're doing and understand. And you really grounded me.
I had a Connie. Her only name was Karen. So I understand.
Yes.
And I love you.
I love you too. Okay.
All right. Thanks for being with us.
Yes.
Take these lessons. Adele, I will put your contact information for Facebook on the show notes. But
Perfect.
do you want to tell them?
It's called, I think it's called Adella. ADE.
With 2 L's or
2
one?
L's. Castañeda de Boster, which means Adela Castañeda of Boster, because
Dear God Almighty.
de means of. So I did.
I'll just put it on the show notes.
Adela Castañeda Boster.
How do you spell Castaneda?
Castaneda.
Castaneda.
Castañeda.
Castaneda.
And by the way, when we were out here, they had mariachis out there.
Oh my gosh.
I sang.
She did, and she's got a beautiful voice. I posted on Barry. Glorious.
All my people were out there. They were out there. Yes. You guys have a great night, and just remember, be kind to each other. Why? Because we all have to live on this planet.
Yeah, amen, sister. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.